The gym, was there any conversation around that at all?
Nah, even if it was, I don't even speak on, what other people got going on, I would love to fight.
Hold me back. Hold back. You a fight, Eddie.
In the gym that day?
Nah, it just was talking about like my boxing. It wasn't nothing about no Kid Austin, the fight that I got coming up. It was more so just watching my.
The gym. Was there any conversation around that at all? And even if it was, I don't even speak on where other people got going on I would love to fight. During the week Shakur Stevenson had Eddie Hearn, Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather watch him spar. What he didn't expect however was an argument that broke out between Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford. After the session the pair were ringside in the gym, as he put in the work ahead of his next upcoming fight on February 22nd against Floyd. Schofield, speaking to Fight Hype, Stevenson said of the meeting of minds in boxing this week, "Man, I don't know how they were all there in the gym. I feel like I need an extra check for that. I'm always setting up these plays, but I don't always get the credit I deserve. Still, I put together a nice little play and had everybody pull up to the gym. I appreciate those guys for showing up and supporting me. I just try to take the knowledge and advice they give me and soak it all in." Mayweather had tried to sign Stevenson previously but lost out to Hearn in music Matchroom. While Hearn and Floyd Mayweather were all to put their rivalry aside to joke and discuss with one another, Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford had their friendship turned sour. This year is shaping up to be a big one for Stevenson, but next month he needs to be impressive. As for Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather, despite initially appearing friendly at the gym, they soon had a little argument after Crawford had said that he had no doubt he would defeat Floyd Mayweather like in the gym that day. And it just was talking about like my boxing. It wasn't nothing about no kid off and the fight that I got coming up. It was more so just watching but what had initially brought them together was Shakur Stevenson's training methods. People do not realize how freakishly hard Shakur Stevenson trains, but this from Hearn gives a small insight into his mindset. Going without rest breaks and sleep is part of any high world championship professional boxer's life. At times they will tell you what's so I mean look, it ain't the first time you've been around Floyd, it ain't the first time been around any of those guys, but that day especially with you having this fight and a lot of people saying that maybe Kid Austin isn't ready for you. What kind of talk? What was the conversation like in the gym that day? And it just was talking about like my boxing. It wasn't nothing about no Kid Austin. When to fight, when to train and when to rest being key. And Hearn spoke to IFL on what he saw from Stevenson in the gym this week. "What I love about being in environments like that is seeing the love for the sport." Last night Terence was watching Shakur Stevenson spar. Shakur did 14 4-minute rounds with 30-second breaks. Terence and Floyd watched the entire session, then went to another ring to watch Ray Ford spar. Music Floyd loves boxing, Terence loves boxing. He's passionate about the sport, loves watching young fighters giving advice and seeing people from his community come through. It was pretty cool. 14-minute rounds with 30-second breaks with little rest is no joke. That is hard times for whoever was on the receiving end of the sparring from Stevenson. Stevenson had a badly busted hand last year, so bad it put him in a hospital bed. At one point this year will be big, most likely from him. He fights next month in one of the best cards ever seen in boxing history on February 22nd. Hold up, yeah, so if he pound Floyd was pound for pound you or Floyd, who would have done that? Who would have won that? Me? __. Okay, I'm just asking Floyd. However, Crawford claimed he was going to win a fight with Floyd Mayweather if they ever fought. While the undefeated boxing legend was active, the switch hitter from Omaha, Nebraska is a 4-weight world champion with 31 stoppages to his name. He most recently won the World Boxing Association world title in the super welterweight ranks with a decision win over Israel Madrio. That was the 4th division, in which Crawford has won belts. He has also been undisputed in 2-1 of only 3 men to achieve that in the 4-belt era. As Crawford continues to stake his claim as the best of a generation, fans are debating how he fares compared to the all-time greats. One intriguing fantasy matchup is against the last dominant American, Floyd Mayweather. The Terence didn't mention the fight, didn't say anything. You have talked to him about it? Floyd: not a peep, not a word. Okay, sorry, no, it's all good, thanks. Eddie Money Mayweather famously retired undefeated in 2017 as one of the most lucrative stars the sport of boxing has ever seen. The defensive master beat the likes of Canelo Alvarez, Manny Pacquiao, Shane Mosley and Oscar de la Hoya. Would Crawford be on that list if the pair had crossed paths? Asked on the $1 Million Worth of Game podcast how he would do against Mayweather, Crawford didn't hesitate to back himself. Me versus anybody. Crawford's trainer Brian Bac McIntyre shares the same prediction, though he admits he is like Crawford biased. There are two things. For one, Crawford is like my son, so I'm going to always go with him. Terence has that dog in him. Terence didn't get to where he is now overnight. It's taken years and years. Been a hard __ fight though, man. Me versus anybody. I'm going always say me. Okay, come on now. But if you put Bud in there in his prime with Mayweather in his prime, then of course Mayweather is going to be the smarter one. But I think Bud will have more dog in him. Whether or not Bud could break the famed defenses of Mayweather down will always be debated. The more realistic one for him right now is the fight between Floyd Mayweather and Canelo Alvarez, when they face off in September. Shakur Stevenson thinks Terence Crawford will defeat Canelo Alvarez and can make it a very easy fight. Stevenson, the World Boxing Council lightweight champion, claims that for years he's been saying that Crawford will defeat Canelo. Rumors of Canelo and obviously your good friend mentor Terence Crawford. A lot of people a few years ago would have said that's crazy, but I think everybody, when they see the talent of Terence Crawford, they getting away. Crawford, the World Boxing Association champion in the 154 pounds light middleweight division, has promised to put on 14 pounds to compete in the highly anticipated bout, which would probably be the highest paying day of his career. Stevenson was sure in his response when asked if he believes Crawford will win that matchup. I've been saying this for years now. I'm probably the first one that has been saying this even before Terence is saying this. I always thought that his Crawford style versus Canelo, I think he beats Canelo, said Shakur Stevenson to Talk Sport Boxing. Shakur Stevenson makes it seem like Terence Crawford will stand toe-to-toe and trade blows with Canelo Alvarez in September. However, that scenario seems unlikely given Crawford's usual approach when facing powerful punchers. Classes, he's a special fighter. Pound for pound, I think many will say #1 in the world alongside the likes of people like yourself. And that great list that we've got at the minute. See the man to be. He typically relies on movement, utilizing his jab and leaping into land shots before quickly repositioning. Crawford doesn't stay stationary or engage in relentless attacks. His aggressive performance against Errol Spence was more of an exception, largely because Spence wasn't at his best following his car accident. It would be a little over a year, 13 months. You got to be very careful if you're going to take a fight above 160 pounds because it's a new weight range, said Chris Manx on his YouTube channel about Terence Crawford taking a tune-up fight. It seems unlikely that Terence Crawford will take the risk of a tune-up fight against a super middleweight before facing Canelo Alvarez in September. Beat Canelo? Yes, honestly, if anybody could jump up and wake CL didn't do it, it's Terence Crawford. I don't know nobody who is. If Crawford does compete in the weight class, it would probably be at a catch weight, potentially around 163 or 164 pounds against a middleweight. Moving up, possible opponents could include Aaron McKenna, Liam Smith, Austin Williams or Kyrone Davis, fighters who pose minimal threat to Crawford and are ranked lower in the middleweight division. Another debate that'll keep being a topic in the boxing world is the greatest of all-time debate, with many disagreeing with Floyd Mayweather. Roy Jones Jr. and Floyd Mayweather Jr. are two boxing legends who have left an indelible mark on the sport. Both are widely regarded as the best pound-for-pound fighters of their respective eras, sparking endless debates about who truly deserves the title of greatest of all time. Do you respect the Floyd 50-0, or is it like you got to respect anything a person does and stay undefeated at that long? So I respect it to a degree, yeah. Is it a 50? No, that I think he the greatest fight all time. No, Mayweather with his perfect 50-0 record is considered by many to be the greatest pound-for-pound boxer in history. His impenetrable defense and ability to control the pace of a fight made him a unique spectacle. Additionally, his career was marked by extraordinary commercial success, with 4 of the 5 highest-grossing pay-per-view events in boxing history. However, Roy Jones Jr., an undisputed champion across 4 weight classes, holds a different opinion. In an interview with Real Life Productions, when asked if he considered Mayweather the GOAT, Jones Jr. gave a simple but emphatic response: no, slick but punishing. Jones was the first man to win a middleweight world title and go on to do the same at heavyweight. In over a century he held top honors in 4 divisions throughout his Storied career beating the likes of James Tony Bernard Hopkins and Antonio Tarver with an endlessly watchable style sh with 80 and 0 at 1.80 he could have.